Welcome back, everyone. This is where we can pretend to be like the Joe Rogan podcast. 3, 2, 1. Scotty Lopez, how you doing, my friend? I mean, a big cigar, a big doober, you know, glass of scotch, $1 million Spotify contract. We'll be grand, man.
3, 2, 1, and we're live.
Hey, that's it. Pretty much got it. Yeah. And then you see the eyeballs in varying degrees of like closedness. Sometimes when he's on with a really good friend like a Joey Diaz, there's not an eyeball left to be seen by the end of the thing. You're cutting through the smoke. Where's Joey in there, man?
When Big Joey Diaz is on the Joe Rogan podcast, I would say that they're giving their endocannabinoid system a little bit of a workout.
Oh, man. I would love. I've actually thought about this. Would I like Joe Rogan on my show or Joey Diaz? If I got the choice of the two, you know, most people would go for Joe. I would want to hear some of the stories of Joey Diaz.
Yeah, I would. I think I would have to agree with you.
I'd say, Joey, take me to the church, man. I want to go to the church, you know.
I would rather have Joey Diaz because, man, the stories that guy's got to tell.
That's the ones he's able to tell on air. I would like to hear the ones he can't tell on air, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, he's seen a lot of stuff.
A real dude. Real dude, man.
Real dude.
Done hard time.
That's just a hard New Yorker that has just seen some crazy stuff in that city, man. That's all I gotta say.
New York has got a special place in the baker's heart. I don't know why. It just obviously growing up, it's iconic, right? New York. But then you get to know more about it. You get to know what the people are like. You speak to some of the people. I think they've got a lot in common with people in the UK. They take no crap. You know, they're pretty straight talking. I don't know. It's an interesting kind of. It's almost like a different country within the country of the US.
Yeah, it is, and like my grandfather's from Puerto Rico, right? But when he moved from Puerto Rico, they lived in New York City for a long time before he moved out here to Kansas. You know, so yeah, I mean, I heard a lot of stories about stuff that went on in New York City and the stuff that he saw. And you're right. It's like, it's very interesting because like people will look at the cities like New York City and stuff and they're like, oh, it's just you know, like the elites live there and, you know, that they don't you know, but the common folk that live in these cities, there's the disconnect that's just within the city itself, you know, and it is weird. It's a very interesting dynamic that goes on in these big cities, and yeah, New York, but the average person there, like you said, they're a hardened kind of people because
they're a character. Hey, yeah, they're a character. You've got to be a character. You don't make it.
If you live in a rough city, you got to have a rough kind of attitude, you know, and your average working man there, you know, they don't put up with crap, you know. And
Glasgow's mad, dude. Yeah, I mean, most cities, the East End is usually the kind of more working class, but here it seems like almost two different cities again. If you're from the West End, you speak awfully posh. And it's almost like they don't admit that the East End even exists. It's like a totally different world. It's strange, I mean, Scott, you know?
I mean, I lived in a somewhat large city, which was Wichita, Kansas. It's nothing compared to like New York or anything like that. But I mean, it's a large city. It's got over 500,000 people. I mean, it's not small by any means, but no, I mean, you're right. I mean, then you get your like sections of the city that, you know, you have your areas of the city where you have your lower class people. You have your areas of the city where the upper class live. You know,
All those
like I
pesky
remember
bankers, man. Give me some of those money.
the area we lived, it was kind of, you know, lower middle, lower class kind of area, and then you had like your people out in Bel Air, which had all the money, and people that lived out in Eastboro on the east side of town. That's where all the money was at. You know, I mean,
I'd be in the craziest, dankest, wildest part of the Bronx, man. That's where I would probably feel most at home. It would feel most familiar to me, you know.
You're in the most wild part of Glasgow. This is what you're saying,
Scott. That's the understatement of the century. It truly is. You know, today I was planning on going randonauting. Now, before we go anywhere, big shout out, everyone stand up for the princess. Tana, Scotty's mum, is in the chat room. Tana, what kind of rabbit hole have you thrust me down here? I bet she's sitting smiling to herself because I haven't been randonauting, Scott, but remember last night I kind of like ended up really craving a nice cold wet pint. Well, I got my cold wet pint, right? That's the only mission I was going on today. But when I came home, I thought, well, I'm going to take a look and see just what it is that's caught Tana's attention. Because I know what you're like, and I've never known your mum to be somebody that brings, like, wasted time material. It's always something that, wow, this is something we can really get into. So I thought, I want to go and see. I want to see where that wow factor comes from. Oh, it's there. Tana, I see it. I haven't even watched maybe even 2 of the videos. The titles alone, myself and Scott took a little look at some of them. This is getting a little bit bizarre. And like I called tonight's show, when did this even become a thing? Now, I know when this became a thing because me and Scott talked about it, but that title for the show is going to become more apt and more relevant as time goes by here. But I thought a good place to start to follow up from last night, Scott, before I burst out laughing, because I know where we're going today. I hope you've got your laughing gear already, folks. It's going to be a good one. It is. It's going to be a lot of laughs along the way. There might even be some tears. But we're going to start here in the old Randonautica. So, what are you making of it after having 24 hours more to think about it and a few of the titles that we looked at? And I'll pull the videos up right now for so people can see the kind of search result that we were met with, Scott.
Yeah, I mean, I okay, like I'm kind of split on this because part of me wants to say that this is all kind of a very elaborate viral marketing campaign to get people to download the app. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that there's a lot of YouTubers out there that are putting out content that
a lot. Dude, look at the views that these videos are getting, dude.
That's what I'm saying, you know. But there's also part of me that says, hey, I'm sure that there are people out there having legit weird and disturbing experiences using the app as well. So I think that there's kind of a it's not so there's a kind of a gray fuzzy area between there. You know, are we looking at some YouTube channels putting out this content in order to kind of get people to go, ooh, what's the app all about? You know, oh my God, there's crazy stuff happening. Let me go download the app. Or, you know, in some cases, are we looking at like legit kind of disturbing things that have occurred using the app? I think it's a little bit of both.
I think it could be both, Scott. Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, I mean, think about how many people are going around downloading this app now, since it's just been saturated with all of this attention lately. It's very
Is there a connection with the spirit world? I see. It could sound way out there, right? But when you start factoring in all the stuff that I did do with Anthony Patch and some of the science around the frequencies, the energies, the AI, the tracking us, I don't know. Is there a spiritual component to it? I suppose you could argue, Scott, that sending out an intention is dabbling into that spiritual
Well, I was just
realm.
about to say that. I mean, either way, you're engaging in a practice to where you're told to focus on, focus your intent on something and go to a location. And so either way, I mean, you're engaging in that, I guess what we would call it, what, ritual, I guess.
Yep. Yeah, pretty much, dude.
Yeah, I mean, you're being told to focus your intent on something and then go and do it. So you're engaging in kind of a ritualistic activity. So yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me at all if there was really, really crazy things happening. And I was telling you before the show, my mom was telling me that she saw a video where they went to a location and there was like a Dybbuk box there.
Yeah, you were telling me about that one, man. That's what the hell,
Now, I mean, are we talking about somebody who kind of like pre-placed a Dybbuk box or whatever? But I mean, if it was Randonautica and they were given a random location, I don't see how somebody could get to that location. And
how'd you spell Dybbuk box?
It's like Dybuk. It's like a.
Yeah, we'll probably get it with that.
Yeah. Dybuk.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that might be the one. I don't know. But it's very
See, there's somebody exposing some of the fake videos, and of course there's definitely going to be fake ones.
Yeah,
that's inevitable. But does that take away from everything? I don't think it does. I think there's a whole heap of weirdness.
Yeah, it's like the UFO thing, right? There's going to be fake UFO videos. There's going to be lots of fake UFO videos. Probably more fake UFO videos than ones that are actually legit.
I'm actually planning now putting my Jedi skills on After Effects to the test. I could easily make up a UFO video, easily. And if I do, we'll declare it here on the channel. We'll declare it here before we post it. Because, I mean, we don't have a big audience here, but I can guarantee you when I post you that, when we post that, that's going to go crazy.
Hey, that's a good idea. Do it as a social experiment.
That's exactly it. Yeah, that's exactly it,
How easy it is for people to fall for fake UFO videos. And since you have the tools to do it now, I mean, you have the After Effects and all of that, you could easily do that. But, going back to the Randonautica thing, yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of fake Randonautica videos, but it doesn't take away from the fact that people have probably had and probably are having very weird and disturbing experiences using it as well.
I'd be more comfortable doing it up my Maz way than doing it in Glasgow, Scott. There's a few places in Glasgow I wouldn't like to wander into purposely,
My mom said that there were a lot of videos of people. There was a lot of people in Glasgow doing it.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's have a look at these maniacs.
Yeah, maybe I'll have to look at it like
Glasgow.
Glasgow.
Pendle Hill. Oh, that would be a good one.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, she just said that she saw some stuff.
Yeah, they've probably not put the location on it. There's probably a lot of them in here. You'd be able to find it, But yeah, again, still, would I do it in Glasgow? Probably not. Would I do it up in the Highlands? Absolutely.
Yeah, I would definitely do it in a place to where you don't have where your odds of being sent to a very, very shady area are low, because I can imagine, like, if you're in Los Angeles and you're using it and it decides it's going to take you down to South Central or Compton or something, you're like, I don't know.
Now,
if you're using it
I've seen Tana saying that you are going to become a randonaut yourself, Mr. Scott. You and Tana are going to be doing a bit of the knotting. What do we call it? Do we call it knotting? You can't, I mean, randonauting's a bit kind of, it's a bit of a mouthful. Are you a knot? An R-knot? R-knot. R-knot.
An R-knot. Yes, my mom is trying to rope me in unwittingly because she knows that once I get in the van, I can't get back out. And once we're on the road,
On the road again.
I'm at the mercy of wherever we're gonna go. So
You might end up at Stull Cemetery, Scott. Imagine it took you to Stull.
Could you imagine if it took us to Stull?
That would be creepy. Now, I've got a little story here that kind of ties in, Scotty, with what we done yesterday. Because we were talking about intent and all that kind of good stuff. And Marie, who is in the chat room, I've asked Marie if I could read this out. She only messaged me towards the end of yesterday's show on Freaky Friday, so we kind of missed it there, but we've got time to do it now. And this is kind of cool. It says, I have a story for you. I was always told that if I have a problem with someone, to turn and picture myself doing something nice for them. So I would visualize giving myself a rose to them. One night at the karaoke, a gentleman sat at the bar drawing on a napkin. He came up to me at the end of the night. He handed me the napkin, and on it, he had drawn a rose. He gave me the napkin and walked away, and I never saw that man again. Now that's kind of weird, Scotty boy. That's kind of weird,
really,
right?
Very interesting. Sounds like,
that's one of those ones you throw out there, and inadvertently it comes back in a weird way.
I was about to say it was like the universe kind of
confirming
coming back.
It, yeah, almost like
confirming it. Yeah. Pretty cool. I like it. I like that.
I do like that, Marie. Thank you for sharing that. Really cool. But I think now, Scott, we can come back to the randonauting and things, but this is where we have to really start to ask this question of when did this even become a thing? We've talked about people that, what's it called? Mind crossing? Cross what in?
Mental shifting,
right? We've talked about that, where people like mentally shift into some species of animal or another. And we've had a bit of a laugh, we've had a bit of a giggle at that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I nearly fell off my chair today because I found out that we're doing this all wrong. I'm trying to scrape by here, being a very small YouTube channel. And barely enough to even feed the family, I'm hard done by. If only I had known, I could have solved everything. Like this genius right here. Do you know what this genius on the screen has only gone and done? She's figured out a way to make 6 figures by acting like a dog. Yes, indeed. There she is right there, folks. Now, Scotty Lopez. When did this even become a thing? Why are there people willing to pay other people hard money, shekels, pounds, dollars, call it what you will, to see somebody acting like a dog? Now, this girl only made it into the media and only ended up in my consciousness because there was a bit of a kind of kerfuffle the other day. I think the boyfriend took her out and she was having one of her dog moments. And when they went to get lunch, well, as a dog does, it has a bowl with water and food, and she proceeded to drink out of the bowl. So obviously everyone got kind of up in arms. Oh, you pesky man treating a woman like that. Whoa. No. He's the victim here. Little did he know he was getting in tow with a woman that spends the majority of her time identifying as a dog. But Scott, is she really a dog? Or is she just making a buck? And I'm going to get into the story here in just a moment. But yeah, there you go. There's the headline, folks.
I don't know. Something tells me in this case.
Clever. This is either the most clever kind of like shtick in the world. Maybe you could throw her a stick and she'll fetch it for you, right?
So I noticed it's OnlyFans, I think is what that's called.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll read a bit of it out here. It says a Texas woman.
Okay.
On you go.
Well, I was going to say that OnlyFans is normally for, let's just say, adult models online.
Yeah, that's where she's ended up in more recent times, as we remember we read a bit out earlier on. We'll get to that because it's a weird story. So it says a Texas it's a weird story. That's an understatement. A Texas woman who reportedly said she has always acted like a puppy is now gathering more than hundreds of thousands per month through her performance on OnlyFans after quitting her career as an optician. Jenna Phillips from Austin, Texas, now pretends to be a dog on OnlyFans, an adult content subscription website, where she runs around fetching balls, rolls around, and takes dog treats, according to her TikTok videos. I think we'll open that up there. Are we even allowed on TikTok anymore? I've got a story about that. The 21-year-old has said that she likes to roll around, play fetch, get head scratches. I had to say that really quickly there because that could have came out all wrong. You feel me, Scott?
That could have went wrong if you paused a little too long between.
Is that paused or pause? Like, boom, boom. So this is according to the Lad Bible, because she always felt like a puppy at heart. So her monthly income is now 100 times more than her previous income. You can't sniff at that. Sniffing dogs. And she makes 6 figures, according to the Mirror. With her content, she has garnered more than 125,000 followers. Now, that's on TikTok, Scott. And her bio says, just a girl pretending to be a puppy. How many of them do you think are just like us, that are following for the kind of the bizarreness of this? And how much do you think there's a demand from people to see other people acting like animals? I'm starting, you see, this is where I start to think, when did this even become a thing, dude?
I bet a huge majority of her followers. How much you want to bet that these are people that are also into the furry community and all of that?
I would imagine. Yeah, there's a bit of furriness going on here. I feel it.
I think that is probably her target demographic. I would assume, and the mental shifter crowd as well. All of that. All of those interesting individuals are probably the majority of her audience, I would say.
You think so?
I think so.
You see, when I'm reading this, I should really wear the red clown nose, right? So it says here, she currently charges $20 per month to access her uncensored content. This is where it gets to the point where I was shaking my head going, I have to talk about this today. I've always acted like a puppy, but not in a brown chicken, brown cow, spotty puppy way at first. I used to pretend I was a puppy when I was growing up, she said. I really love praise. I love hearing, good girl. It makes my heart melt every single time. And when she started her OnlyFans account, the content was vanilla. But after almost 2 years, she began posting as that puppy girl, which is what turned around her business. I bet you it did. She said there's been a surge in her following ever since. And she said what made her change her mind about doing vanilla content was that there wasn't a market for female puppies on OnlyFans. Whenever I went shopping for the gear, it was only really for men, she said, according to the Mirror. I thought, screw it. Why don't I create the market? I know there's a demand for it, so why don't I supply it? Now, there's definitely a demand for it, or she wouldn't be making the money.
Look, you can't. In
a capitalist world, she's an absolute genius. She's an entrepreneur in her own class, you know.
I'll say you can't scoff at her ability to tap into a niche market and capitalize on it. So, hey, She's the one making
I just
figures.
took a drink of stinking cold tea. Blech. Yeah, I've got the cold tea there and my hot coffee there. I know, dude. I know. What the heck's going on? It's like
not a fan of the iced tea.
No, Scott. That's like an oxymoron to me. Two things like that shouldn't go together. That doesn't make sense in my head. My head can't handle that. It's like these cold coffees that you get as well, like Frappuccino. We talking about cold coffee? I'd be taking that back. That's not ready. You just served me unready coffee. What the hell are you doing?
I forget you guys in the UK like to drink the hot tea.
Yeah, man, we like our tea hot. We like our dogs to be canine as well, may I add.
Yeah, you like your dogs to be dogs?
And our tea to be hot. Yeah. So,
I don't know, like...
Dear Lord, we have to...
no.
Oh, dear Lord. Here we go, folks. I apologize already. This is what humanity has come to. Are you ready? Here we go.
Okay.
You have got to be absolutely crapping me. Woman, you're absolutely mad. He's patting her on the head, dude.
Okay.
What?
Oh, wow.
I noticed that she seems to be a dog in very tight lycra kind of yoga style bottoms. I dare say that's part of the... Yeah.
Of course, because, I mean, hey...
1.2 million views. Are you absolutely crapping me? There's only one thing I'd be playing fetch with right there. It wouldn't be that. Oh, what is wrong with people? Am I a good girl? Oh.
Well...
What? I see somebody in the chat. Good shout. What was going on in Sodom and Gomorrah that really incurred the wrath of the big man? Because I don't... Either he's not paying attention to what's going on down here, or maybe he's just like us. Maybe he's just enjoying the show. Maybe he's like, this is awesome. This is what I've been waiting millennia for. This is what I created it all for. Look at them. They're losing their minds. Blah, blah, blah.
He's letting it bubble. Little bubble infester.
You think so? He's letting it go for now.
We still haven't hit rock bottom yet, Kev. As hard as it is to believe, we still haven't hit rock bottom. There's more to go. This is just the beginning. This is just the...
I think it is as well. I really do think it is as well.
We're just now entering the descent into madness, you know, and it's only gonna... Hey, we're gonna have to bust out our exponential graph.
Pearly has spoken. You ready? Pearly has spoken. A decree from Mother Baker. She needs to see a psychiatrist.
Very, very wise
hard to
words.
argue. Yeah, it's hard to argue with that.
Yes, Mama Pearl, I agree.
Yep, so Scott, I mean that there, you could take a pic. There's like heaps of these people making heaps of money doing that. But can I ask you, what is the furore? What's all the drama around TikTok? Is it getting banned? What's going on, dude?
Well, it's part of this whole thing with the concerns around the Chinese backdooring everything that comes from their country, right?
Get to do with the Red Dragon. You're the Red Dragon family.
And so, you know, the administration, you know, Trump is, you know, he's taken a hard stance on China, obviously, and he said, hey, look, we need to probably start paying attention to all of these apps that come out of China, that originate from China and then become popular here in the U.S. because what is really in those apps, right? Well, the Chinese could be backdooring these apps with all kinds of stuff and getting information on American citizens. So
it ruins your day when you get backdoored like that.
yeah, very, very much so. Very much so. And and yeah, so I mean we may see like apps that originate out of China, get banned or unavailable. Which I mean personally I don't find anything wrong with that.
Scott, I'm going to tell you right now,
I'm,
dude. That's the first time I've watched videos on TikTok. I can't remember who I said it to last week over on Facebook, but they were saying they've been spending a lot of time on there, and I've heard about it. You'd have to have been living on Mars not to have heard about it, but it doesn't appeal to me. Same as Instagram. I've never done Instagram either, man.
Yeah, I have an Instagram account, and I never use it. I mean, I set it up because people say, hey, you need to try to,
I've not got an interesting enough life. I don't go enough places to look cool. I'd have to Photoshop myself and be fake like the rest of them,
Yeah, because they always say, you need to expand your social media influence is what they say, and be on all platforms so you can gain as much of a following as possible and blah, blah, blah. Look, I'm a tech guy, right? Like I do computer stuff and I'm a nerd and all that, but I'm not very good at multitasking, and trying to maintain multiple social media accounts is kind of ridiculous to me. Like I'll go and try a new platform that say is trying to challenge Facebook or something like that. Now I can see the benefit in doing that, but to just completely spread out across all social media and try and manage all of that, it's just too much. I don't have time for all of that. I barely even use my Twitter. And I always try to make it a point to at least go and check Twitter every once in a while, but I moved from MySpace to Facebook back in like 2009. I held out on MySpace as long as possible.
I was on MySpace, sir. That was back in the days when you were using Napsters and things as well,
Yeah. And all the way to when they finally were saying, okay, we're going to start shutting down accounts, because we're shifting our platform. That's when I was like, okay, I'm going to have to jump somewhere else. And I jumped to Facebook, and that's where I've been ever since.
I was the first one in my work, Scott. I was like that guy. I was the one that started it. I'm like, what, you aren't on Facebook? Look at it. It's absolutely epic. It's brilliant. Look, you can find all your old friends and that. Oh, I remember it, Scott. I thought it was like the best thing since sliced bread. He was like, when you live away from home, it's priceless. You're like, right. Everyone likes to snoop on their old school friends as well. Go on, admit it. Tell me you haven't all looked. Of course we have. And I mean, I'm like, you can check out everything. And at that point, but
really, I mean,
it was a better experience then as well, Scott. Before it got big, it was better,
Yeah, and the thing is that that's what made Facebook so big, because there was no alternative to MySpace at the time. There really wasn't.
You know what killed Facebook, I think? When people's parents started to use it. When people's grandparents were on it. It wasn't trendy anymore when your mum and dad are on the same profile, oh shit, can't post what I'm up to here,
Yeah. It's interesting because, Facebook is kind of known as like the boomer social media, right? And the younger generation doesn't really dabble in Facebook that much. They might set up a page, but that's not where they're doing most of their social media activity. And where you're seeing most of the social media activity is, hey, what we're talking about right now, the TikToks, the Snapchats.
I've got Snapchat. I speak to one person on Snapchat. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, Snapchat is like the main go-to for the younger generation. I mean, and it makes sense. I mean, you send very short, quick messages, with your picture, and then it doesn't log. I mean, I think that gets deleted after 24 hours or something like that, right?
You can set it up to delete anytime you close it down. Gone.
Yeah, so it doesn't keep a record of your social media. Well, supposedly.
I was going to say not for you to access, but in a server somewhere. Yeah.
I'm sure somewhere in Utah, there's a nice little place set aside for you, but
yeah.
but That's the thing with TikTok is because, hey, let's be honest here. The young kids can do it to do kind of young kid stuff, teenager shenanigans, and then next day parents check the phone, nothing's there, right? Because it's all been wiped clean, and so it doesn't leave a trace of anything that you've been doing, really, unless someone like rats you out. One of your friends takes a screenshot or something, sends it to somebody. Oh, look what they said on Snapchat, but yeah, I mean, it's all about Snapchat, TikTok. TikTok is it's like the new Vine. Remember Vine?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm laughing at the chat room, dude. Jason, our good friend Jason, he's been stopped in his tracks. He can't move past the last story. I knew it would get Jason, and he's come up with the revelation I think we were all thinking about. Does she actually lick? And the conversation has turned to whether a man could carry out that function. And if a man could, then I think it was Marie in the chat room pointed out that women would overnight become the breadwinner because we wouldn't have time to leave the house any day. And our TikTok videos would be of one thing and one thing only. And yeah, in fact, if we could do that, I would hazard a guess that girl would still be working as an optician. Because nobody would need to watch her doing that,
I remember there was a rumor when I was in middle school and high school.
Oh,
it was
we deal in rumors, Scott. Come on.
It was urban legend that Marilyn Manson could do that he had 2 ribs removed to do that activity.
I heard it was Michael Jackson when I was in school. And Prince is another one I heard that got it done. Yeah. Is that a thing? Is it a thing though? I mean, is it a thing? Can you get your rib bone taken out just so that you can give yourself laldy, man? Not that I'm planning it, dude. I mean, Christ, you can see every one of my ribs on a good day as it is, right? It's not good. I don't know, man. Is it a thing? Is it?
I'm sure it is. I mean, hey, we just watched a woman drinking water, or drinking out of a dog bowl in the middle of a public
should I even
place.
Google this? Do you even want this to be on your internet kind of? No, that's attached to you every time. Can you actually get a rib removed? And see, when you go for your next interview and that's on your dossier, you ain't getting that job, dude. You ain't getting that job. Not when you've been searching for that at midnight in the UK. What the hell's wrong with you, Baker? Get a life, man, what can I say? What can I say? But listen, you might have thought, well, all right, it's not that bad. It's a thing. We know it's a thing. Well, the next thing we're going to get into, I really have no idea how this ever became a thing. But this to me, and as I said to Scott, this is one of the most hysterically written articles about an already hysterical subject. Do you know what it's about? Do you know what we're about to get into? Well, I'll tell you in 60 seconds because I'm going to shove some tunes on. We're going to get a little refreshment. And we're going to get you... We need to let Jason get ready for this. I don't know if Jason can handle this.
If you thought the woman acting like a dog was crazy, people, wait till you see what we have coming up.
You ain't seen nothing yet. Remember, folks, if you want to be on our little emoji rogues gallery up there, and did you know it was World Emoji Day yesterday? When did that become a thing? But if you want your emoji on the screen, all you got to do is get in touch with me. It's not for me to act like a dog for you. It's strictly for you to get your emoji on the screen. You don't have to pay me a penny. All you got to do is just get on over to Discord, get me on Facebook, send me one through, and you will be on there. I've got one to add to the family. Her name's Cheryl. She's been in the chat room a couple of times recently. Been listening to the show on and off since there's been a Kev Baker show. I want all of you up there as well, and I'm working on some cool kind of After Effects thing. We're going to have a little video starring all of these emojis at some point. So get them over to Discord, and we'll be back in a moment to talk about... Ah, yes. Yeah, that was savage, wasn't it? Savage! I called them in. I'm like, here, doggy, doggy, doggy. I offered them the biscuits, and then, just pulled the biscuits back from them, Scott. Make them wait. I'm sorry. I'm just in this doggy world thing that's going on right now, dude. It's like...
Maybe you should make a TikTok video.
Maybe I should, dude. Maybe I should. Maybe I should. Hey,
Maybe.
Listen. When there's people making a living... You thought making a living as a dog was kind of comical, right? Now,
How do you before you unveil this to the audience? How do you look at this person's resume and their previous?
you mean
you know,
our friend over here, the dog?
No.
Oh, the new one. Oh, the
about,
new one. Now this is. Oh, how would you put it?
Yeah, I mean, their next job, and they're like, "Hey, what's your resume? What have you done in the past?" And they're looking down. They're like,
I would hazard a guess that the technical name in the UK, because we've got like domestic engineers. That's somebody that stays at home over here. We've got environmental operatives. That's bin men. Over here, if you were to do this job, I would hazard a guess that they would probably call you some kind of highly skilled flatulence engineer.
Oh, okay.
Maybe. I think that would be the designated term.
Maybe I'll get the gears turning in my head. Maybe I'll come up with
I've given you that foundation, Scott. That you can just take it and mold it and meme it up, because you're the meme king, dude. People are out there thinking, a flatulence engineer, Kev? What on earth's name are you talking about? I'm talking about this backcrap crazy stuff here. When did this become a thing? Now, ASMR, that's where people talk to you like this. And they'll, and they'll do all that creepy, crazy stuff, right? I don't get it, but I get it. But then we've got this genius, and I'm sorry, but anyone who can make money out of farting out of their own arsehole is absolutely a genius in my book. An anime voice actress, fart recording now on sale as ASMR audio file. So it says here, I want to listen to real farts of a doujin voice actress combines voice acting and fart acting. And already, Scott, we're one sentence into the story, and I have to ask you, when in did this become a thing? Fart acting?
I don't know. I don't know, man. Once again, it looks like that there is a very, very niche market for this kind of.
My mother, her own bugle, her own ASMR fart over bugle. I swear to you, Scott, I'd put my mother up against anyone. It is absolutely, it's awful. You know when I'm playing Scrabble with her, right? I'm going to fart shame her live on air. We'll do it live. We're going to shame my mum, right? So when we're playing Scrabble, she's holding the phone, right? So she holds the phone on her belly. So I actually get to hear the full process. And then all of a sudden it'll be... And she'll sit there and all you'll hear is a little giggle. It's terrible. Yep.
You know, the similarities between our families is
Are they getting stronger?
getting very scary, Kev.
Yep. You know, she actually, my boy, he thinks she's absolutely off her head. She's comical because she actually says, and I quote, "If I could bottle my own farts, I would." That's honestly what my mum says about her. Yes, yes. Oh my word, she came out with a really cheeky one before this as well. Why does a dog lick its own? Oh, I can't say that one, Mum. Come on, that's a bit rude, that joke.
Dang.
And now she's just laughing because she's bad, dude. She's laughing because this is like her thing. Her thing is tech, and my thing's my show. To her, farting's a lifestyle, dude. It's a way.
We might have to put Mama Pearl against Mama Tana.
Oh, so listen, we can't ever go on that road trip that I've dreamt about with those two farting their heads off. Us two, what's going on, dude? Let's take a look though, because this story gets even more comical, doesn't it, Scott? It says in Japan.
The way it's written is hilarious.
That's what makes it brilliant. In Japan, as in much of the world, especially the Highlands, farting is considered an unpleasant, unwelcome sound unless you're Pearl. That's why one office supply company designed, now this here, another genius invention, a fart muffling seat cushion. Who even knew that was a thing? When and why is that a thing? And who on earth's name would wear a pair of anti-fart sound blocking underwear? That'll make my mother absolutely incandescent with rage that anyone's even had the idea to create such a... How are you meant to express your freedom of ass? You know? Freedom of farting, dude. You should be able to do it anywhere. What's the world coming in? You can't fart anywhere, you know?
Is it the same technology that they use like for rocket launches whenever they just start like dousing the launch pad with a bunch of like water, you know, to help kind of muffle the shockwave a little bit as it's taken off?
Oh, she's actually telling me now this is getting more disturbing. It's a sign of affection. She's like a skunk. She's like some kind of animal that, like, when she gets excited and she loves you, she farts on you. What's that all about, man? When did that become a thing? So... But and you think you've heard the funniest part of this, folks? We ain't even got going yet. There's chapters, there's verses, it's a whole thing. But just as one man's poison is Pearlie's pleasure, there are some, though not many, to whom gas escaping from the buttocks is as enchanting a sound as those produced by the finest brass horns or woodwind instruments. And
that dude, that's hilarious. Enchanting. It's an enchanting sound. It's the finest brass horns.
Almost like you can picture people in a trance when they're listening to somebody farting. Oh,
right before an orchestra, you know, gets going, you just hear the cacophony of sound as they're tuning everything up, and it's like.
I still never forget the time I had a girlfriend that absolutely, she looked me straight in the eye, like deadpan serious. I've never farted, Kev. I fuffle. Fuffle? What?
What the?
Is it air escaping from your down below? Yes. Then you farted. You can call it what you want. You can call it a fuffle. You can call it a pancake. You can call it a big cow in the field. But it's still a fart to the majority of people on the planet, right? Hey, admittedly, they never smell. You never heard them either. It was weird. You used to look at her thinking you're going to explode or something, man.
You know what my grandpa used to call it? An Arkansas barking spider.
Oh, hang on, dude. We've gone from flatulence engineer. The Arkansas barking spider. That's far better, dude. We like that. It's not a technical name for the role. I tell you what, it's a hell of a nickname, right? So we'll go back in here because we still haven't got to the good bit. No, we haven't. It says here, and it's their needs that Dojin, and that means Independent Publishing Circle, in Oshika Chokan, witnessed, or wishes. How could I get Enoshika Chokan right and then get wishes wrong? To attend to with their latest creation. Quote, I want to listen to real farts of a dozen voice actors. What does it matter what anyone does with their voice if you're listening to the sound of air escaping from their clenched cheeks? But this is where it gets better, dude.
From what I gather, she's doing both the voice acting in her little anime.
She's saying, "Oh, I've been eating beans. Oh, the beans are good through. Oh, you getting ready? Oh, ready." Oh, people are getting off on that, and then they're running over to watch the dog. Is that what's happening?
Yep, I think that's what's going on here, Kev.
Do they watch the dog to make them feel better in some way? Is this like some kind of yin and yang going on? I don't know. I'm joking. The audio file, which is roughly an hour in length. Now, I hope she filmed that on like separate shoots, because anyone that farts for an hour constantly, I'm starting to look at the possibility you might need an ambulance, Scott. If you're farting for an hour, dude, what the hell? Have you ever lit one? I've done that a few times, man. Done that a few times. Yes, in my daft youth.
My friend has
common soldier trick, common down the nappy. Yes. You would often see people dropping their drawers and trying to light farts, and hair getting singed to the varying degrees to the point of third degree burns, and just a whole heap of shenanigans that guys get up to.
Hey, yeah, that's just common boy shenanigans right there, man.
Well, this is where it gets really cool, folks, because they've really thought about this. I mean, you can't just have somebody farting for an hour. That'd be ridiculous. So we'll break it into chapters. It says, in addition to an interview with the actress and a post-recording looking back on the process, the file's chapters are listed as a toot to get things started. And then it goes into the really tense chapter of, I mean really tense, like clenched tense. A clenched fart. And then it really picks up pace by going into farting inside a sack. And then my own personal favourite, farting in the bathtub. Although, to anyone who has farted in the bathtub, you have to agree with me. Once you've done that, you need to get out. The water stinks. I don't care what anyone says. That water's now dirty once you've done that in there, Scott. You don't want to lie in your own liquid fart. How many times do you think we'll get demonetized for talking about farting? Do you think that might happen?
Oh, I don't know.
Actually, I don't see anything in the community guidelines about talking about like people farting.
Mm-hmm.
Have we triggered any, like, maybe, is there people scared of farts? Do you think there's, like, a phobia? If you'd smelt my mum's, there might well be a phobia of smelling anything like that. It's like there's something crawled in there. It might have had a name at some point. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, it finishes off with, are you ready for this? When did this become a thing for anyone? Resisting the urge to fart while Okay, so moving on, it says Ino Shika Chokan, I'm really good at that name, makes no claims as to whether the bathing, the self-pleasuring, and other secondary conditions are real or simulated. You mean it's a fake fart? I'm calling fake fart right now, Scott. She's a fake fart. She's got a whoopee cushion, man.
Yeah, they're just holding a whoopee cushion up to the microphone and, you know.
Wouldn't it have been, my mum says we're, oh my word, hashtag fart mongering.
Oh.
I like that. Wouldn't it have been cool if Whoopi Goldberg had got married to Peter Cushing? Think about it. So,
hey, keep it up though, Kev. There's gonna be a hashtag fart shaming, hashtag cancel Kev. The woke mob's gonna come after you, man.
Do you think they're gonna try and cancel me, dude, for talking about that? How do you make a fart ASMR? Is it one of those silent biscuit ones that just slip out where you have to check? You've got that dodgy second, Scott, where you think, that wasn't wet, was it? Oh, sharted. Yes, I talked about it live on a stream. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, I thought ASMR was supposed to be like very subdued, quiet, subtle, not.
I am Tammy. I'm a absolutely savage fart bully. I'm a fart supremacist. What can I say, man? It's bad.
Or your voice acting skills and recreating this, you could
I could be the full farter, man.
You could, hey, get a ticket to Japan, and you could find yourself in a new career. I think
I'm the right size to kick about with Japanese people, dude. I would look tall over there. I'd actually feel like the man. I'd be like, yes, I can get clothes that fit me. I don't need to like shop in the kids' shops. Cool. Japan's got it going on. So it says here that the producers, in fact, Enoshika Jokan, makes no claims as to whether the bathing, self-pleasuring, and other secondary conditions are real or simulated. So I would imagine if it sounds like you're in the bath, probably quite hard to recreate that unless you're in the bath. But promises that the farts are entirely genuine. The voice actress actually passes wind. I just got fed up of saying farts there, dude. It's nothing to do with the algorithm now. It's just like you can only say farts so many times in one story. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
So it says the product description excitedly reassures the potential buyers. To everyone who likes farts, please enjoy this. My mum is away actually. Yeah, I'll be well off in Japan. She's wanting to listen to it. She's a purveyor of fart music. I bet you she would listen to like the wind chimes of baked beans. You know what I mean?
Hey, with how many subgenres of metal there are, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow somebody decides that they're gonna like start a fartcore band or something.
A fartcore band. I like it, dude. I like it. Oh, I like it, man. I'm still like I'm thinking I might tell a story with lots of farting in it. So it says the producers have also revealed one of the trade secrets of fart acting. How dare they give away the secret before recording? Hey, there we go. Oh no, oh no, that means we're definitely not getting monetized in this video then. He wouldn't read out fart. Brian didn't read out fart, dude.
Oh no, Brian,
Brian's offended. Brian's offended. I'll play it for you again, Jason. Brian's offended. Can you believe it, Scott Lopez? Can you? It's a travesty. Oh, play again. Now it's not playing again. We'll try it again in a moment, folks.
Brian's just checked out. He said, "That's it.
I'm done." Brian's like, no more. You're at it, Baker. So it says the producers. So this is it. This is the big secret, folks. Kino. John.
Fart, my guts are rolling, must be the beans I had this morning.
There he is! There he is! Brian's back!
There he is.
Fart, my guts are rolling, must be the beans I had this morning.
Oh, now he's just going to go crazy and he's just going to keep on saying it to the point where I have to can him, you know? Yep. But now he's not going to say it.
Fart, my guts are rolling, must be the beans I had this morning.
So, God.
Yeah, that was strange. We lost sound for a second. I couldn't hear you, and then, but now we're back.
Now we're back. Yeah, somebody even says muted on here. So, yeah, it says here that you'll be amazed that a woman with a cute voice, or a voice this cute, can fart like this. As you might guess, I want to listen to real farts of a Dijon voice actress, which is listed as a voice ASMR project, is intended for listeners 18 and up. Oh, what on... Listen. What kind of craziness is that, Scott? I mean, do you have to be 18 to listen to somebody fart? It's not like you have to be 18 to fart.
I'm sure it's the
Don't
dialogue.
go there. Don't go. Are you trying to say they're spinning this with some kind of, I'm getting really hot.
Yeah.
I can feel it moving through my colon.
You saw what the last chapter was titled, so I'm sure the dialogue in that is quite.
I think we should call every weekend stream When Did This Become a Thing? I imagine there's lots of material. So it says that for the really crappy sum of, Scotty, $12.30 That's all you need to pay, dude, and we can get to listen to this 5-star performance.
Should we call this When Did This Become a Thing?
When did this become a thing? Woof woof. Because of the doggy story as well. You see, we gotta get it in there, right? So, yeah, for it, she didn't get a 5 out of 5. 4.63 from 51 largely satisfied customers. I want to hear the one review or the couple of reviews that wasn't happy. I paid $12 for this, and to be quite honest with you, I've heard my dog doing better farts after it's had its dinner. What kind of fake fartery is this, Scott? I'm calling shenanigans.
I'm giving a 1-star review. It wasn't aggressive enough. You needed to put more into it. Just not enough. Not enough gusto put into the.
Mr. Gherkin does it for Karen in the chat. Yes. Mr. Gherkin, not Mr. Gerbil like I called him one day. I bet you Karen must have nearly fallen off her chair when I'm like, I'll tell Mr. Gerbil. I was asking for him. She probably choked on her coffee. I probably put her fart all wrong. She'd probably been brewing one up all day. She was getting ready to record that big ripper, man, and then I made her laugh. And you know what happens when you laugh? You can't hold on to it anymore, don't you? You lose it.
Yeah.
I know. I think far too much about the actual, like, methodology, and it's having a mum that's into it so much. It was bound to rub off somehow, right? You know? some weird kind of farting hang up that my ma's given me. I need to lie on a couch and like talk about this to somebody that will probably take about £50 an hour off me. So Kev, talk to me about this relationship with your mum. We were really close. It's just the smell of her constant farting. It just got in the way of that son-mother bond, you know. And now I'm just left to play remote games of Scrabble because I'm too scared to sit across a table from her because I can't see the board. It's all stinking. She's farting. And you know what I've got to put up with, man? You see, you think it's all going on here. It's not. It really ain't. I've got a crap life, Scott.
Your upbringing has made you an expert in a field that nobody thought needed to exist, right?
Exactly. Like flatulence. Traumatic stress syndrome. Do you know what I mean? And I tell you right now, it's not a syndrome. It's very, very real. But yes, Aldrich, that's exactly it. Listen, I know it's a bit weird, a bit funny tonight, but I tell you, you can only be serious for so long. And I've got more. I've got more here. I'm not actually going to get into this story, but I'm sure there might be some people out there, Mum. Take heed. There's articles out there about how you can actually combat this affliction that you seem to have made into a professional sport. I'm not saying I don't fart, you know, but I just don't quite enjoy it as much as my mum. That's all I'm saying, and nothing against you, man. I'm not knocking it. It's your thing. It's your thing. Yeah, I'm glad my mum isn't in the room. I'd be getting a shoe at my head from my mum probably right about now, as opposed to Anne. You know what I mean?
But better be careful, Pearly she might get a hold of you. And
you know what might lead to a lot of this flatulence problem that's going around the world, Scott? These bloody what is it with these people that decide like they want to eat 84 hot dogs in 10 minutes? I mean, this competitive eating, right? And you were saying to me, I mean, you see, typically I'll let you talk about it in a moment, but when did this even become a thing? And the people that do it, what's it all about, dude? You got the chili eaters, you got the hot dog takers. What's that all about?
I don't know, man. Like, the eating competition things. I mean, I guess that's been around for a while, but like this whole competitive hot dog eating thing is like, what the heck, you know? And the thing that blows my mind is that a lot of these people that have won these competitions are like petite little women. Like I remember the world record holder was like this little Japanese lady. And it was like,
now she's working doing ASMR videos, Scott.
that's her new gig, dude. That's what happened. She went from a professional hot dog
She
eater
went
to do
full ASMR, Scotty. She thought, that's it. I've had enough of it.
She already had you know, everything going for her when she went into that job, you know. So, but nah, it's crazy. It's kind of like the thing where you've got like the, I guess it's just one of those weird sort of I consider it like these like hot dog eating competitions. It's almost like a sideshow kind of thing, right? That you would see at a circus or something back in the,
I think it's quite narcissistic type people, Scott. Is that what you're saying? Like a bit of attention? Is there a certain mindset to it, do you think?
Yeah, it's like carnival show, sideshow kind of thing. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, if there's big money prize at the end of it, then I don't know. You know, some people just probably go, "Hey, I think I could pull it off." You know, I don't know. It's weird though, but you know, we got a fascination with stuff like that. Like we had that show. I don't even know if it's still on, but it's called like Man versus Food, right? Where the guy goes to the restaurants and that have like the challenges where they're like, "Hey, eat the big the giant burger that nobody can take down, and if you do, you get your name on the wall and a T-shirt or something like that." You know,
dude, we've got a new word for passing wind. Bogut from Nacy. Nacy calls it bogut. The Anishinaabe call it bogut. I like that. Donnie,
okay.
Donnie, what do you boys down under call it when you're hanging out at the station with your mob there and somebody lets off? And don't tell me Australian men don't fart. It's a ripper, mate. Oh, it's stinking, Bruce. Bruce, it's stinking, mate. So, come on, Donnie, what do you call them down there? Do you call them like didgeridoo biscuits? I don't know, Scott. I'm just thinking a name for it. A didgeridoo biscuit's a good name for it, though, right?
It is a good.
You got to have a bit of a resonance to get yourself a didgeridoo biscuit kind of classification, man. Yeah, well, come on, I'm waiting for Donnie here. Charcoal will stop it. I don't want to stop it. Christ, that's like sacrilege. That's blasphemous to my mum. Charcoal, get out of the house. Get rid of it. Bonging. Oh, you bonging, Bruce? Bruce, stop bonging, mate. I think that's why they wear corks on their hat, because everyone's bonging all over the place and it like gets rid of the smell. We think it's for the flies, but really it's the smell of farts everywhere, man.
Dude, it's so Australian, that name. Like I'm gonna start using it now.
Bonging down at the Billabong. Billabong and bonging.
Like, I'm about to bust a bonging, mate.
Mate. Oh dear Lord. I tell you what, though, I bet a kangaroo can fairly keep up with the best of them. And who's going to tell a kangaroo its fart doesn't smell good? Not me. Have you seen them? They look like they can fight like hell. So it says the 4-minute mile and the 2-hour marathon were once believed impossible. Now a new gauntlet has been thrown down to the world of elite competition. A scientific analysis suggests competitive eaters have come within 9 hot dogs of the limits of human performance. The theoretical ceiling, hang on a minute, Scott, hold on. So you're telling me out there that you've had people probably studying about 6 or 7 years to get doctorates, PhDs, masters, and they're spending their time trying to work out just how many hot dogs it takes to fill a human? What? When did that become a thing?
Look, if we're dealing with the highly competitive and elite sport of
I'm going to wear my hat like this now because the world's gone mad, Scott.
Then you know there must have been some money spent on R&D, research, development, studies to see how far the human body can go in this elite sport.
Jake, is Mr. Beast, you've seen Mr. Beast on YouTube, right? Is he a competitive eater? Or is he just somebody that decides to eat like rotten cans of fish because he gets millions of views on the internet? I think he's a competitive one, isn't he?
You mean LA Beast?
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
I don't know if I'm not sure if he's done competitive eating. Something rings about that though, that maybe he's
I used to watch him all the time, Scott, and something rings a bell with me, but I'm not too sure.
Like maybe he's an ex-competitive eater or something like that.
He does a lot of live streaming now. I like LA Beast. I think he's a great guy. Good to listen to. Yeah, he plays a lot of the old like Super Mario's, Nintendo games, back in the day games, Scotty. I seen him playing one day. I can't remember the name of it, but I was glued because it was a game that I'd played like when I was a kid as well. And I'm like, wow, man, this is crazy. Watching somebody streaming a game that you played in like probably the 80s. It's mad.
It's awesome, dude. And that's why I have all my emulators and stuff installed on my computer so I can go back and relive those retro days.
Scotty, ZX in the chat room. Dogs are the best. They are. He says, my old dog was fast asleep once and dropped a ripper. He woke up and ran across the room trying to figure out where the sound had come from. Brilliant.
Oh my God, dude. Our dog Bubba, dude, he'll just be laying there and he'll just because his are silent, you don't hear him. But then everybody in the living room be like, oh, what the? Oh, Bubba, and
Bubba's
just
dropping
looking around.
Biscuits, man.
He's dropping bongins, man, and he's just kind of look up and look around like, what did I do?
See, wee Susie, she doesn't do that. She would fuffle. I'm sure she fuffles my little cat. She wouldn't do a stinky thing like my mum. Whoa, what's that all about? So it says here the theoretical ceiling has been set at 84 hot dogs in 10 minutes. I feel ill. Physically ill. Right? Even thinking about that. 8.4 hot dogs in 10 minutes would kill me. 84 hot dogs. Oh, I just got her headphones in. I ended up shouting about 84 hot dogs there. That could have been construed totally wrong. Without getting into that, Scott, you know what I'm saying. There was emails about hot dogs that caused a whole kerfuffle one time. Let's not even go there,
They're gonna go back. They're gonna highlight that clip, Kev. 3 hot dogs. And they're gonna be like, see.
Oh, they already say that anyway, dude. You know that. I'm like a facilitator of these types of people. Whatever that even means, I don't know. But anyway, the current world record was set by Joey Jaws Chestnut earlier this month at 75. Let's take a look at this champion eater. Let's have a look here. How this engineer turned world champ competitive eater preps to eat 75 hot dogs in 10 minutes. Look at that. Look at that's the man. That's the face of a man who thinks, if I have to keep going, I feel like I'm actually going to explode. How do I get any more of this physically down my own gannet? Know what I mean?
Is the face. That is the elite of the elite right there.
He's pushing himself. He's never gone that far before, Scott. He's like going for a personal best, a world record, man. He's and then he's got a week's worth of doing recording ASMR. He could have a whole concerto of things,
Old Dirt's in the chat said you can maybe eat 84 if you remove 2 ribs.
If I've got 2 ribs removed, you try and ripping me off something else for a hot dog. You got 2 hopes there, pal. You got 2 hopes.
Actually, you remove two ribs, you've got room for 1 more hot dog.
There's only 1 hot dog you're having. Oh, dear Lord. It deserves an X-Files type kind of tune. What the hell is happening here? Devolution, absolutely Aldrich, and that's just me and Scotty. But let's go back here. I want to find out this genius scientific study. So James Smoliga, a sports medicine specialist at the High Point University in North Kakalaki, has authored the research. He authored it, described 84 hot dogs as the maximum possible limit for a Usain Bolt type performance. We're talking about Olympic kind of training involved here. The elite of the elite, Scott. Do you think there's like, is there like amateur ranks that you work your way up? Is there like a hot dog world?
Yeah, I think so. I think we're talking about the world of elite hot dog eating, and I think
do you get picked up by like Red Bull? Do they like sponsor you to like eat them like kind of free falling from 30,000 feet with a GoPro and a big? Oh, now that looks bad. A big hot dog, Scott. You know.
Like the pro leagues have like scouts that are sitting in the stands at the amateur leagugues, like scouting out the phone.
Oh, you need to see this kid. This kid, he's only 10 years old, but you should see how he packs away these hot dogs. He's a beast, man. He's a savage. We can get him young, you know, training him up every day.
Yeah. He'll be a future champion. He's the next.
So let's think about it, Scott, right? We had the Karate Kid. Could we have Sausage Boy? Will he be training? Will he be down on the beach and, sweat hanging off him, man? Old Miyagi will be there. Just one more hot dog. One more hot dog. Hot dog on, hot dog off, you know? Willie?
It's so? like sitting in the lotus position, on the beach with like 2 hot dogs in each hand. You know?
He gets in the crane position because that's the only way he can free up enough space in his body to get that last one down. It just drops it down like a stork, man. Away it goes. Too far. The analysis of people eating hot dogs. Dude, you can try and dress this up as science all you want, but in the end of the day, it's still man versus hot dog.
I also got to point out that only from Joe Joseph's former state does this study come from.
That's
right?
That's why I cackalakied it when I read it. I'm like, anytime I hear a cackalaki, whether it's north or south, I think doesn't matter. It's Joe.
Joe was near the location, so of course the study had to involve. Yeah.
You see, folks, paranormal, the woo, the ghosts, they're getting a break today. We're giving them a day off. We've gone crazy. We have joined the descent into madness. So it says here, the analysis. You can just picture them all there with their like clipboards and stopwatches and probably things to measure stomachs and what on earth, Scott? Come on, dude. How do you do this? What's a study of people eating hot dogs even look like?
I'm just picturing guys in lab coats like standing around a chalkboard with like a diagram of a human stomach and like all these hot dogs just like packed in for like maximum what do they do with like maximum packing efficiency that they use for whenever they're like shipping stuff and all of that. They're crunching the numbers.
They get the D-wave in. You think they get the D-wave in to try and figure out the optimum condition to be in, like the traveling sausage eater instead of the traveling salesman conundrum that it kind of solves all the time. Can I tell you exactly when, how many chews to take? Dang, who knew it got so competitive, man? So
they're feeding D-wave with this information.
Well, listen, any AI is only as good as the data, and we've got 39 years of historical data for it to pour over. From Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest. So this Nathan guy, he sounds like he's running like the elite kind of get together that the Sausage Boy / Karate Kid goes to. That's the final event, isn't it?
That's where you want to get to. You work yourself up from the amateur leagues. You do some local competitions.
Every day as a child, you dreamt of competing at Nathan's, man. That was your dream. Every time you ate a hot dog, you were picturing yourself eating that last one, the 85th one, the one they said no human could manage. Come on, man.
You work your way up from the city competitions to the state. national, but it all
I need
leads
to have a
to
think about this, Scott. I need to ponder this for some time. I need to put on my emoji face. Since it was World Emoji Day yesterday. Yes. Did you know that, Scott? World Emoji Day yesterday?
No.
I was going to
Interesting.
do a stream before Freaky Friday. And that's where I initially got the idea of a series of streams, like an ongoing from now until evermore of when did this become a thing? Or why is this a thing? You know, because World Emoji Day, man. And by the way, we can take a quick look before we go at the new emojis that are coming this year. They're giving you a, like a, the Italian hand gestures coming, Scott. I mean, how many times have you been stuck there and you couldn't express yourself because it just wasn't, none of that, there was none of that going on.
Oh boy.
You know what I'm saying? There's a ninja as well. Ben Fulford will be absolutely delighted at that. But hot dog composition and size have reportedly remained unchanged. I thought it was going to say size doesn't matter. And I was going to say a woman wrote this, didn't she? Remained unchanged at Nathan's fame. Famous in the fast food company. 104-year history. Allowing for valid comparison between competitors across years. Improvement curves in elite sports ranging from sprinting to pole vaulting tend to follow a so-called, oh Scott, look, it's not our type of curve, it's a sigmoidal curve. Huh?
Oh, a new curve.
A
new
rival.
curve.
Yeah, a rival. I prefer the exponential. It's got balls, man. This thing, a sigmoidal, it sounds woke. Featuring an initially slow and steady rise, followed by an era of rapid improvement and finally leveling off. Hot dog eating is definitely reaching that second plateau. I'm sorry, you can't compare hot dog eating to the very competitive world of sprinting and pole vaulting. You just can't, Scott.
Well,
How much shape can you get into to eat a pile of hot dogs? You know what I'm saying?
can the most elite pole vaulter down 84 hot dogs? And if they can't, then you can say that that's not they're not elite in that field of competition, right? It's like
Yeah, you got me there. You got me. Huh?
Can you take the most incredible footballer, right, and put him in the ring with the most elite UFC fighter and expect him to win?
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
You know.
But the pole vaulter would be well within his rights to point out, well, if I ever need to jump over a house, I can do that. You can't. You see?
And the hot dog competition guy could be like, hey, if I ever needed to swallow your pole vault, I could do it.
Only I might need 3 ribs out for that.
Might be cut down a little bit, but hey, I could do it.
Hey. So, the early years of Nathan's contest featured a motley assortment of winners, mostly big obese guys. Well, that's very, very offensive to fat shame people at eating competitions. Get woke. So it says, who chanced their luck on the big day, according to Smoliga. In 1984, had to be that year, a contest was won by Birgit Felden, a 17-year-old, 130-pound West German judo team member who managed 9.5 hot dogs despite never having eaten one before the competition. 9.5 hot dogs? It's hardly worth even competing back in 1984.
Nah. See, the world of elite hot dog competition, it hadn't evolved at the time, but they didn't have the science. They didn't have the knowledge, Kev.
That's it, dude. That's it, dude. You're right. I'm telling you, man. You're into this. You've got it down, dude. Like
the sigmoidal curve has not kicked in yet. You know,
see, you're liking this new type of weekend content. You're reveling in this madness. Look at you. You're loving it.
Dude, I revel in the madness. Huh? I really do.
Yeah, big time.
It's where I operate.
Oh, when we got to the 90s, now we're getting into it. The participation of a Japanese extreme eaters changed the playing field. In 2001, Tekuru Kobayashi. How can I pronounce Japanese and Chinese words really, really well, but I'll probably mess up record in a moment. So down 50 hot dogs. That's a very, very respectable amount. That's a big jump from the 9.5 the German boy took. Smashing the previous record of 25.125. Oh, that boy managed to scram some in, didn't he? I'm giving it that. 1.125. Leave it, mate. It's hardly worth it. He doubled it. That was a game-changing moment when the Japanese entered this arena, Scott.
I believe that was that little Japanese woman, if I remember correctly, because she was like the world hot dog eating champion for a long time. May have been her. But of course, leave it to the Japanese to like outdo everybody and take it to the next level, right? Like the Japanese were sitting back watching the hot dog eating competitions in the US and they're like, how can we outdo the hot dog eating competition?
Oh, you've got a French, German, Japanese dude. How cool's that?
I don't know what I did there, but hey,
that's
what
awesome, dude. That's epic, man. He's got like 5 passports, that guy.
I come up with something.
Need a bit of Australian in there, dude, and that dude's like, he's traveling, man.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Do you know what it comes from, though, Scott? Do you know what it comes from? Do you remember the Japanese endurance TV shows? Remember, like, their quiz games where they would, like, get, like, covered in, like, deadly snakes? Or they would have to go toe-to-toe with, like, a 10-foot spider? Things like that. It was, like, crazy things, man. You'd see them, they would be getting abused. Do you know what I mean? Maybe that's what prepared them for a really kind of tough regime of training for the hot dogs.
Yeah, the Japanese were like, "Oh, you're doing crazy competitions over there? That's like our culture. Our culture is crazy competitions, you know." Now, I think they probably were sitting back watching what the West was doing with their hot dog eating competitions, taking notes, doing research.
Yeah, we'll let them have their time. We'll let them have their time right now. But when we come along, we're gonna absolutely trounce this mob.
They had an entire Japanese division of like scientists just working away at figuring out how to do this. So we just have to step up our game, and this college in North Carolina had to answer back.
This is it, dude. I mean, this is like the guru. You want this guy in your team. You want him in your corner when you're going to Nathan's to take on the world. It says elite eaters start to follow elaborate training regimes, with some ingesting vast volumes of liquid or gels to expand the stomach without having to process the calories. Chestnut, this year's winner, it sounds like a horse, claims to train for 3 months leading up to the competition, including weekly practice runs. What was he running to, like Tesco's to get more hot dogs? A carefully controlled diet and yoga. Who knew that the world's hot dog eating champion would also be a yoga enthusiast? And breathing exercises. You bet you got to know how to breathe when you got 84 hot dogs kicking about in you. You know what I'm saying? So in the trade, there's like they've got their own jargon and things in the hot dog munching trade.
If you're steeped in the if you're steeped in the hot dog eating competition world, I mean that's your life, man. You got to live that hot dog lifestyle.
Yeah. This is where it gets really good, though. Look, you see, I'm starting to smile now. It turns out I might be built for this. In the trade,
Maybe.
being lean is generally viewed as an advantage because a thick layer of fat around the middle can constrict the stomach. The 84 theoretical maximum comes from fitting a curve to the data and also factoring in the possibility of outliers whose performance lies within a certain error margin of the curve. So there's people out there that there's the odd rogue that you'll pass in the street.
Yes,
and I'm going to think it from now on. When I look at some people, I'll think, you're an outrider. You could manage 93, no problem, mate. I've got a job for you. Me and you are going to Nathan's. We're going to take on the world. I'll train them like Rocky. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Come on, get it down you. Get more down you. But if you'll sick, get it down you.
There's the odd outlier. There's the genetic freak.
Genetically modified.
Modified for hot dog consumption.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you don't want those big. Hey, Scott, you don't want them competing at the hot dog championships. Remember the size of those boys? They were about 10 foot tall. There's a lot of space for hot dogs in the Anunnaki. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? So it says here, the prediction should hold true, Smoliga said, unless a new kind of competitor shows up. Again, you call that a horse or a human 2.0. Maybe a synth. There should be no end to how much a synth can take, Scott. There should be chemicals in that fake belly that can kind of get rid of that hot dogs as they're going in. You know, it's not like you know.
Ooh.
Are we going to have to start checking, what kind of species is entering Nathan's hot dog?
I was about to say, now we're we're entering the world of, are the synths going to have an unfair advantage in the hot dog eating competition? And what kind of legal challenges will that cause?
Yeah, we're almost there. Look at this. It says, the limiting factor is likely to be chewing and swallowing rather. That's what all the girls say. Rather than gastric capacity, based on the observation that at the end of 10 minutes, many competitors are still trying to gobble down more sausages and buns. I'm a child, folks. What can I say? According to the research published in the Royal Society Journal, Biology Letters, the achievement of human speed eaters are impressive, even by comparison with other species. Scott, we're talking about interspecies competitions now. Humans are able to eat faster than bears and coyotes? What? Really? Wolves, which devour prey at incredible speeds, could outdo even elite human eaters. Oh boy. That just made the werewolves and the hellhounds a whole lot more scary, Scotty boy. Just saying.
Any werewolves out there, you need to enter a hot dog eating competition when you're in your human form.
I was going to say, just don't shift mid-competition, man. You'll be fine, you know?
Don't shift.
Twitching and, you know, like your big claws coming out might get in the way.
Sitting there in the middle of the competition, just like shoveling down hot dogs, no problem. They look up like, oh crap, Nathan decided to have the competition at night when a full moon is coming up. This can't be good.
That might be the only way to get around that. This might be, you know, you might have to have them at a full moon just in case. You know?
They shift mid competition and they start eating the other competitors as well. Wouldn't be good.
No, I ruled out. Enough of that. But folks, you're probably quite happy to hear that's about all we've got for today. Something completely different. I think at the weekends, I need to let my hair down. I need to have a laugh. There's too much serious going on during the week, and we do enough woo as well. So it's something different, Scott, isn't it?
I think our little talk about Hangar 18 kind of overflowed into this week's.
It definitely. Now that I think about it, I hadn't thought about it, but yeah, you're right. It definitely bled in.
It was subconsciously stewing and bubbling since our talk, I think.
And I think me and Scotty are going to be starting a brand new, unique YouTube channel. Away from everything that's the KBS brand, it'll be our own little thing with probably Popeye and others coming along as well. And it can't be. There can only ever have been one Hangar 18. And I think it deserves to have its place as a Mandela effect. As that, you can never top what we done on. You can never equal it. It's going to be something new we do. Because if we try and be like Hangar 18 again, that was just natural, dude. So whatever we call this, we'll end up being like Hangar 18. But That in
It was-
itself, that's something I'll never forget. That was some classic hours of radio, Scott. I used to have to stay up till 5 in the morning for that show to start. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, because it
I
was midnight
remember.
on the East Coast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was a late one. Might have been 3, maybe. 3 or 4, but it was definitely like middle of the night because I mind me and Whistles were like talking about, right, that's daylight now. Oops. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, we're going to try and do something. But folks,
What I'm doing is I'm looking at the options because I know the content is not going to be very algorithm friendly. So I'm just looking at options, and I'm going to see if there's any alternative platforms that look like they have longevity. Because I don't want to just start something on a site or a platform that ends up going to the wayside eventually. I think that would be pointless. So if I see something that has longevity, I think that might be where we base it. I don't know. We're just hashing out the idea right now. This is all just
yeah.
kind of, but we may.
I might not be here for much longer, Scott. I'm gonna start making videos where I talk like this and fart. I think I'll start making After Effects videos for people to download and use as they like. I'm becoming a bit of a wizard on there, but hey, you shouldn't speak about myself in such glowing terms. Folks, tomorrow I'll be back with Bill Bean. It's going to be an absolutely huge show. And yes, ZX Library. I do have a profile over there. I need to get uploading more shows. I've got one from Nano to upload. I've got one from Charlie Robinson. I've also got one from Brendan Drackler that we could never have put on this platform and will trigger everyone that listens to it. Why? Because I love them. And that's why I keep on bringing them on. So library is good.
Yeah, I got to set up a library. I might have a BitChute. If not, I know I set one up for.
I've got a BitChute. Just search for Kev Baker's show, The Finders. That's where the show we done with Ryan Gable about that. That's over there on BitChute. You see, I have got many's a platform just smouldering away. The embers are glowing. It's there. But this is like, this channel alone, I think, is something like, well, the Kev Baker show, 10, 11 years old or something, Scott. I lost 2 channels before that. Back when you were getting awards for being like the #1 alternative news reporters type things in the UK. You got badges, and so I've been doing YouTube for probably 15 years, maybe. So as crazy as it's been and as crazy as it is, that's why I don't mind almost like we've kind of changed the way we do things over here on the streaming things, because I enjoy YouTubing. I really do. And I'm blessed because I've also got the luckiest guy in the world. I've got a platform where I can talk about anything. And there's nobody comes along and says, no, you can't talk about that. I don't ever have to worry about waking up in the morning and finding out that Chris and Cherie have cancelled me, because it's somewhere where you can talk about all this stuff. So I'm enjoying having this as almost my little outlet, somewhere we can all come, hang, chill out. There'll be woo, lots of woo. There'll be lots of fun like tonight. But yeah, some people, they moan about YouTube and it's changing. I get that. But as somebody that's been on it for that long, it's just... got to keep on, Scotty boy. You got to roll with it. You got to kind of change and evolve.
You've been able to adapt, which not a lot of people are able to do. Unfortunately, I mean, you've got to do what you got to do to survive in this crazy world. You know what I mean? Like,
big spider on the wall. Big spider on the wall. Oh no. You might hear me making flatulence noises in a moment. I don't like big spiders, man.
How big is it?
Big enough. Big enough it caught my eye.
Okay.
Right, it's that small I can barely find it. Yeah. Yep.
Ah,
I know it's hardly like it's not exactly those things that you'd have to take a shovel to down in Australia, those funnel webs or anything like that. But it's still a sizable spider.
have you seen a wolf spider?
No,
We got here and oh man.
no.
Mm-mm.
Oh, my boy almost. How was it he put it today? This is like a Scotty burger. He had a burger. It was called the Kansas. It was a chicken burger, man, out of steak, cattle, and roll. And it was called the Kansas. He's like, is that not like where Scotty's from? Like, oh, yep. He's like, that's a Scotty burger. Well,
The Kansas.
yeah.
Interesting. I wonder what's on it. So it's chicken and
Yeah.
like a
I had the Philly steak. Oh, steak and cheese.
Philly
Oh,
cheese.
dude.
Mm-hmm.
That and remember my cold pint that I fantasized about yesterday? Oh, dude. And I was right. I felt the water, the condensation on the outside of the glass. It hit my finger just as I had.
See, Kev, you manifested your pint. If you never would have thought about it, you never would have got it, right?
Holy shamoly, eh? Just at the end of a nonsense stream, Scott Lopez, he drops the info, man. He drops that big truth bomb right at the end there. You're right, Scott. In a roundabout way, you're absolutely right. So I'll be back tomorrow on Warrior Mode. We will have Bill Bean. We will also have a lady called Lara Culhoun. And we will also have, back by popular demand, is Travis Short. And tomorrow we're going to be talking about news. Bill will be saying some prayers. And then the main body of the show is going to be about the Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez. Yes, indeed. That's going to be the latest in our true crime kind of series that we're doing. I don't know if you knew that, Scotty. You know, the Warrior Mode on a Sunday. It's turning into something really, really good, man. We've done the Mansons. We've done Son of Sam. Who else we've done? We've done like Laurel Canyon, and this week Night Stalker. Yeah, big cases, man.
You're gonna have to send some of those to Popeye because Popeye is really, really big into serial killer research and all of that.
Yeah.
So I think he would really dig that top conversation and topic.
Yeah, really good, man. Really good. Bill's always been fascinated by all these big cases, and of course, you can definitely link them into pure evil. You know what I'm saying? So, real crime, I don't know what it is. It's human nature. There's some of the most popular shows on the TV. You wouldn't think it, but they are. You know, watching these cases, cold cases. People love that stuff, man.
Have you ever went to a channel called That Chapter?
No.
On YouTube? Oh my God, dude! My mom actually turned me on to this channel, and if you're into like true crime mystery stuff, and stories like that, you've got to watch this dude's videos. Yeah, there it is right there, That Chapter. And that's all he talks about. He talks about disturbing cases, true crime stuff, and he just lays it out. So
yeah, like look at this. Yeah.
If you ever get a chance, Kev, check out some of those videos.
Yeah, this is the kind of thing. Like if I'm trying to escape from it and that, you know, I'd probably something else I'd shove on.
You're going to be enthralled by a lot of these cases, and so, yeah. Very good, very good. I didn't know if you had seen that before. I think the guy's from Ireland or something. He's definitely somewhere in the UK. But yeah, good stuff. So yeah, for those of you out there who are into that kind of topic, you know, true crime kind of stuff, check out that dude's channel.
2 seconds. And we'll get going. Hang on a wee sec. Right, here we go. No idea Right, this is ZX sent this. Loz's magnificent 7-tone fart symphony, the #1 video in the world for one day in May 2015. This is going to be brilliant, isn't it? Isn't
Oh
it?
my god. Yeah.
The greatest fart. Is that it?
It's a major.
No. Nah. Yes. Until my mum can do something like that, well, I have to say, Pearly, you need to get training. But Scotty, I've had a blast. Have you had a blast?
Oh, yes. I've had an absolute.
And next weekend, we know what to look for now. When in the world did this become a thing? We'll find more in the next week that we will build up in a folder.
Yeah, we're gonna have to just dig up more bizarre. That's all. Just weird bizarre.
Yeah, I've got some really good YouTubers that really, I don't know where they keep their finger on the pulse or whose pulse they're taking, but they just have these stories instantly when they come out. You're like, how did you know that? How did you know that was going to be there? Do you know what I mean? So I'll try and cherry pick the best ones. I'll let you know what channels I get them from as well, so you can go and check them out, because I always like to tell people about other channels. And one last,
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, one last channel before we go. Jason has been working real hard, and let's take a little look, because I know he uploaded a new show today. Look at that, it's coming up top now, Jace. See, you used to have to go to channels and everything, and now it's getting there. So,
Some up.
He's got something here called Psychic Transgression. The Ancient Rams In. Now, folks, go and watch that, because Jason in the chat can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's one of the reputedly most haunted pubs in the whole of the UK. I believe that you've had most haunted. I think most of the ones that come over from the US, they go there as well. But yeah, Jason, that's something for me and Anne to watch. Thank you very much, brother. Love you to bits, man. Can't wait for us all to hang out again on Freaky Friday. We'll get that organised. Myself, you, Andy, Scotty, Kevin from Minnesota. I think Algorithm might be coming in. I don't know. I think there's other ones we've missed out as well. We've got loads of people I'm wanting to bring in, you know.
It's a big round table.
Yeah. Have you ever checked out Algorithm's channel? Oh, dude.
No, I haven't. Show me, man.
This is always have problems finding this one. Algorithm.
Yeah, it's probably tough because there's probably a lot of people.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Channel. See.
Yeah, there's
just too many. Hang on. Put up a video with a Joker the other day. I remember seeing that. Nah, it's not going to come up. But Algorithm, I'll try and get it in the Discord chat for people. What a channel though, Scotty. It's hard talking, interesting guy, interesting take on things.
Yeah. Very interesting. There's a musical artist called The Algorithm that I really like, and that's what's showing up in your feed right there. So
man, you see it knows that I'm 1 degree of separation from you, and your eyeballs would be on that, dude. You see?
See, even through sharing the screen, the algorithm knows that I listen to the algorithm.
You know, it's now learning. You know, it's now learning to identify you from a reflected surface. Yeah,
Of course.
it's got faces so good. It's trying to like think of weirder ways to try and ID it. Can I do it in a puddle? Probably, you know.
Hey, what do you think what do you think AI, before we go, just a quick little question for you. What do you think AI and facial recognition is going to reach a point to where it starts experiencing pareidolia itself and trying to make out faces and patterns? Because that's what it looks for, right?
I'd imagine that it's almost, you see, you would be looking even more at apophenia, the general looking for patterns everywhere, right? Because isn't that what they do? Isn't that what they're kind of designed to do? You want it to be suffering from pareidolia in a way, right? Because
Yeah.
you want it to be seeing those patterns that nobody else sees, right? It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah. So is it experiencing a lot of the same stuff that we experience when we see pareidolia? It's like, oh, that looks like a face. It's meeting all the parameters, right? And
Yeah.
so it kind of marks it up. I don't know.
I think it probably gets trained out of it, doesn't it? Because anytime
Maybe.
it finds the patterns in places it shouldn't find them and it isn't one, it soon gets slapped, doesn't it? It gets reinforced. How you stop that? Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, that's part of the adversarial stuff, right, as well. And then it's told, look, you saw a face in a pattern, and then comparing the pattern, like overall, like there's nothing to
Yep.
reference the face to, like no body or anything
That's
like
why
that.
you see a lot of them. That's why in a lot of the ghost hunting shows where they use the Xbox camera, you'll see a lot of the time that they pick up headless figures. Oh, super scary. That's a headless figure. 9 times out of 10, what you're going to find is there's a headless figure sitting in a chair. And the AI is perfect. It's doing its job. It's doing its job right. And that's why it's showing you a person there. Because when it looks at a chair, it sees a back. It sees 2 shoulder type things coming down. It also sees 2 arms. And if it's front on, it's going to see what it thinks is two legs in the same place legs should be. So that's why when you see the stick figure sitting down, oh my God, it's not got a head, it's decapitated. No. It's just got enough. It's ticked enough of the criteria for it to be, yep, that's good. We've got 4 out of 5. We don't need the 5th. We'll fill in the 5th. There should be a head there, but it'll come. It'll be there. You see how that works? And yeah. See. When I turn my hat back to front, dude, I'm actually back into being like sensible and not talking about farting and getting my ribs removed and back to that. It's the weekend. We're out of here, dude, right?
Yes.
Yes. On that note, ladies and gentlemen, midnight tomorrow, Bill Bean will be here. Faith, strength, courage, warrior mode. And when we're getting into the kind of topics we're going to be getting into tomorrow, dang, dude, we're definitely going to be needing a lot of that Bill-type protection. So I invite you all to join us for that one. It's going to be really good. It'll be over on Kev Baker Show 1. And then it'll be rapidly ripped down and uploaded to the Bill Bean YouTube channel. Remember, check out Bill. Subscribe to his channel. It's not just warrior mode on there. You've got a whole heap of content that, if you're into the woo, could be the place for you. So, until next time, folks, remember, keep it real. Remember, don't take everything too seriously, because it just ends up stressing you out. And in the end of the day, keep your mind open. Keep looking for the woo, but not to the point where your brain turns to black goo. Mr. Lopez, it has been absolutely fantastic, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Good stuff. We shall do it again next week.
Yes, we will. And remember, folks, when did this become a thing?